There once was a time where Microsoft only created software. Good old Windows was their main focus. And that focus paid off because Microsoft has reported there are 1.3 billion devices around the world running on Windows 10.
But that number will probably change when Windows 11 comes out by the end of 2021. So after dominating the operating system space, the most logical course of action was, well, hardware. And thus the Surface lineup was born. But it never really kicked off outside of US due to its pricing and other alternatives in the market. But I think that all will change with the Microsoft Surface Laptop 4. Now, it might look the same on the outside, but it is priced at a much more affordable range. It's still sleek and it is made of aluminium, making it very light. And it's also very pleasing to look at. I mean, look at it. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It is also built really well, and that includes its weight distribution, because it's been a very long time since I could lift up the lid of a laptop with just one finger without flicking it to the other ends of the world. Once the lid is up, you get that expected 3:2 aspect ratio touchscreen, which comes in at 13.5 inches. There's also a 15-inch model for this laptop if you need something that's bigger. The thick bezels are still there, but I guess it's something that I can get used to. The screen colors, on the other hand, is not fantastic. It's good, but it doesn't feel like it was an improvement from the previous generation. Also, I hope that one day Microsoft will release a 16:9 aspect ratio version of the Microsoft Surface laptop, because that could definitely elevate the video watching experience. Then we have the keyboard. So far my typing experience has been decent, the keycaps are large, but I did wish that the spacing in between the keys were slightly more wider. But there is also another issue with this keyboard. There is some flax around the WASD area, and for those of you who dislike flax on your keyboards, you might want to take note. Lastly is the touchpad, which has been smooth and really accurate, and I think that is thanks to the glass layer on top of the touchpad. Just don't drop anything on the touchpad or even drop the laptop, because it will be a shame if that surface cracks. Wrapped around both the keyboard and the touchpad is the Alcantara fabric, which I really like because I enjoy rubbing my palms on it when I need to fidget with something while doing my work. It's beautiful. But just like the previous generation of Microsoft Surface laptops, this fabric tends to darken over a long periods of time. I'm not sure whether that's different now because I've only been using it for 2 weeks, but you do have the option to get this laptop without the fabric if you prefer. As for the ports, well, there aren't a lot of them. There is a single Type A port, a single Type C port, and a headphone jack. So if you plan to get this laptop, you definitely need to go wireless, or perhaps invest into a dongle if you plan to connect more devices to this laptop. The model that I have here is a Ryzen 5 processor, which apparently is specifically made for the Microsoft Surface laptop. But it's just a 4th generation Ryzen 5 processor coupled with 8GB of RAM and a measly 256GB of storage. I say measly because we are all in a work from home situation where using our personal computers have ramped up, and thus so would our digital footprint. This laptop is very capable of running Photoshop and doing some light video editing, but with only 256GB of storage, you're gonna run out of space really fast. And if we looked at, let's say for example, Malaysia, on Microsoft's official Lazada page, the highest configuration of storage and RAM that you would get is 512GB and 16GB respectively. But that's only for the Intel variant, which is quite a shame. You can upgrade the storage in this laptop, but Microsoft has explicitly mentioned that meddling with the storage should only be done by a professional. Although it is a very simple process to do. But when it comes to RAM, you're totally out of luck because that is soldered to the main board. But other than that, my overall usage with the laptop has been great. It's fast, it's snappy, and there is no bloatwares installed in the laptop. That means you're not going to get an antivirus pop-up telling you that your trial is over every time you turn on the laptop and it asking you to pay them some money to stay protected. Fun fact, for the last 5 years, in fact more than 5 years, I've never had an antivirus software installed in my personal desktop computer. And out of all these years, the only virus I had to deal with is the one that's making me stay at home. Then we have the webcam, which is a little fuzzy when it comes to low light, but it's a laptop webcam and honestly you just can't expect so much from it. The battery life is really good. It can easily last through the working hours and well into the night. During my usage, I got 11 hours of use, and once the battery reaches 0, it only takes about an hour to get it to 100%. Similar to previous generations of the Microsoft Surface laptop, the charging port is more like a slot and it uses a proprietary cable to charge. But the charging adapter still has that USB port which you can use to charge a phone or other battery-powered devices. You can also use the Type-C port on the laptop to charge it, but it's quite a diva with what kind of power source you can use and what kind of cables that you can use. I really like the new Microsoft Surface laptop, and I always conclude that if you want a pure Windows experience, then the Surface products are the way to go. However, this time around, even though the specs are great and the value for money is there, having only 256 gigs of storage is just not going to cut it in this day and age. But if you mainly use the cloud to store your documents, then you will mitigate this storage issue. So this is a choice that you are going to have to make on your own. And when you do let me know in the comment section below and let me know what you think about the new Microsoft Surface laptop, because personally I really enjoyed this new laptop. So let me know what you think and I'll see you in the next video.